Hi folks, William Stillman, psychic medium. After a long hiatus, and we figured out it was 2 years, I am back in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and I am here with Jaffa Kaufman of Spirited Events by Jaffa, and I'm very much looking forward to the day. As always and as before, I have no idea of where Jaffa will be taking us today. She has all the information, I don't, and very much looking forward to the
Really,
day.
all I have is the addresses. I don't even know the history. It's
So-
the people that we're going to that know the
So it'll be a
history.
revelation for both of us. So
Exactly.
hope that you enjoy it.
Thank you.
Angela, thank you so much for having us out here today.
Absolutely.
Your beautiful home. Are we talking about something of Civil War era? Is that why we're here?
It was built prior to the Civil War.
Prior to Civil War. The interesting thing is, as we were pulling in and parking, I was feeling like there was troops advancing this way from that direction. Would that make sense? And I know we're joined here by Jen, who is our historian, who is maybe going to be able to validate a lot of what I'm saying. But can you verify any of that for me?
Absolutely.
I was hearing drums, actually, and as I was seeing the line of the fence there, I was feeling as though there were troops advancing in this direction. Now, I don't think they were descending upon the residence, but I think that they were coming in this direction and coming through this way. May have stopped here to ask for maybe food, possibly, or any kind of maybe accommodations that they might need. What's the word I'm looking for? Not accommodations, not supplies, provisions of any sort that they might be able to take with them on their way. They're going this way, and I don't know what's that way. I don't know if that's Gettysburg, because we're not in Gettysburg proper, but I don't know why they would be moving that way. But anyways, that's what I was picking up on, so I thought that was interesting.
I know you don't like a lot of info.
Yeah, I don't want a lot of information
At some
up front.
point, I can tell you exactly where they were headed.
Okay, but that makes sense then that they were
Absolutely.
coming from that direction toward here. All right. May we go inside?
Yes.
Please lead the way.
Yeah, you can go either way.
Tell me anything at all about an older, elderly man connected to the property who would have been infirmed, who would have been on the second floor. So I'm being shown the word sick bed. Jen, I don't know if you know anything about this, because I feel like he's...
Definitely a male, you're saying.
Pardon me? Male, yeah. Older gentleman, and I feel like he's looking at me, now that I'm here, from the window on the far end here.
I don't know 1,000%. I mean, I know there were multiple family members lived with them, so...
So this would have been of roughly of that era,
Of that era? Okay.
but he's in that far room.
Okay. We would have to double check that.
Okay. Angela, do you know anything about that?
I know that since I moved in here, I have been telling my husband and her that there's a gentleman in my bedroom.
And is it that room?
That room. And when I'm outside, I can see him.
That's what I'm
facing in
feeling.
the window.
He's looking at me from the window.
And I get a feeling of I can't go outside. I'm trapped in this room.
Infirm, as I said. Yes. Did you get all that? You could hear them? Okay. Okay, great. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. I almost feel from him, he's questioning me about why I'm here. I almost feel there's a bit of a sensation of a resentment of me. Maybe because I'm able-bodied and he is not. Maybe that's part of it. There's sort of a bitterness there that I feel from him. And I also feel as though, this is interesting, I'm being made to feel as though he's thinking, they're keeping me sick. It's like there's a conspiracy here. They're trying to keep me sick. They're trying to keep me bedridden. It's almost like he's feeling as though someone is doing something to deliberately, he's saying, hurry me out the door, you know? So I don't know if people would stand to inherit the property from him or money. I don't know what that's about, but I feel as though he hasn't ever had the opportunity to be authentically represented and to have his voice represented. There's some angst there that I'm picking up on, and it's coming from that room, and he's looking at me from that window. Yeah.
We have to dig a little more.
The only other thing that might be a possibility is if he had what we now know of would have been a dementia, and they kept him locked in the room.
As far as own safety.
So that he wouldn't be a danger to himself or to anyone else, possibly.
It's possible. I will say doing our research and going back. Once we got to like the 1890s, the deeds were so hard to read, and they kind of all got clumped together, like at a certain. Because we were trying to find, we know when the house was built, but trying to find something that says like, yes, the house was built. And it was very hard to like family history beyond that. We got a lot of information, but that's about the time when.
And do you know if there is a male with a C name connected to the property? C as in Charles, for example. And who would Charles have been?
One of the homeowners.
At one time.
At one time.
And would the Charles have been of that era or after it?
After that.
Do you know? Okay. Is it possible that Charles is this gentleman?
That I don't know. I mean,
We have all the dates of when everybody moved in and moved out, so it's definitely something we can confirm later. We can check on that.
And it feels as though through the door there is a more modern addition, correct? So I think I want to just sort of stay in what would have been the original space, if that's okay. And is there a Sarah connected to the property, to your knowledge? I'll also take female with an S name, but I think it's Sarah.
yes.
Does that ring a bell to you?
My list is right there.
Yes, please, go ahead. Please. I'm being pulled upstairs, and I'm wondering if we could go to the bedroom where the gentleman is that I was picking
I
up
would
on.
love for you to go
If
to that.
if that would be all right. So I'll ask Angela that you lead the way, please.
It's behind you. Oh, sorry, the door is in the way of the staircase.
That's okay.
Jen, do you have any knowledge of anyone having had tuberculosis in this house? I'm being pulled to an X-ray of someone's chest and their lungs, and I'm hearing someone coughing also. And they're pointing me upstairs. So just for the heck of it, might be something to think on.
Same gentleman,
It's possible. It's possible. Maybe he was quarantined.
right?
You know.
You know, and if he was in this room, as you come out, you're immediately like, you said about the safety issue and the staircase right here.
Yeah. So I don't know if he was, at risk of harming himself, or if he was perhaps quarantined for some reason, or maybe, cognitively there was a significant decline there. So this is the room that would align with the window that I was seeing.
Yep.
Okay. So Tim, I'll wait till you can go downstairs.
Wants to go in there. I don't want to be under there anyway.
It's such an old house, the hole's tiny.
Yep.
And this is now obviously my master bedroom, so.
Right. So it was this window that I
That
saw
window,
him
yes.
looking at me. Yeah.
When I'm outside, I see him pacing between the two windows.
Okay, let me see what I can get. Oh, remember I said that I was feeling a little bit of a resentment toward me, and he's sort of shall we say, ill-tempered. So he's saying to me, what the hell are you doing here? You know, sort of questioning me. He does feel to me as though he had been very isolated and didn't have a lot of contact with other people. So again, I'm wondering why that would have been, and if he was either quarantined for some reason, or again a danger to himself, or cognitively there had been issues there. He feels very territorial to me also, and so he's making me feel as though we're intruding on his space, not the other way around. I want to ask you, Angela, if particularly in this area, if there's been a history of small objects that have gone missing and that have reappeared in other places that seem irrational or illogical, because again, there is this, and I'm getting like tingling up one leg here. There's this sense of what is this nonsense? Like, especially some of your like feminine things, he doesn't like in his space. So I'm wondering if like a lipstick has gone missing and then reappeared somewhere else, or can you tell me a little bit more about that, please?
Yeah, we have stuff go missing constantly. I mean, it can be something little, like I have like a little, like a lighter to light my candles. That's disappeared the other day. I still can't find it. A favorite mascara that I've been using for weeks.
That's what I wanted to hear. So
I can't find.
Feminine, makeup things that would be associated with you putting on makeup and things like that. Oh, he's saying, well, that's what a whore looks like, with all the makeup. And so I don't know who this gentleman is. Do you have a sense, Jen?
I don't.
But but it's interesting that you are able to confirm everything that I'm saying.
I've been uncomfortable since the day I moved in here. I told her that, I've had experiences my whole life, every place I've ever lived, and I don't feel in danger. I just feel he definitely doesn't like me in his room.
Exactly, and he's using some pretty harsh language that I'm hearing, and that's concerning to me because it tells me he's not where he's supposed to be. That he's still somehow connected to the property and this room in particular, and I just want to encourage him to release and to release his hold on material environments, on material possessions, to acknowledge that this is a different time and a different era, that you are now the current and rightful and true owner of the property. Now he's scurrying, is this an attic through here? He's scurrying up the stairs now because he doesn't like what I'm saying, doesn't want to hear it. And he's feeling as though, why are you forcing me out? Why are you pushing me out of my own room? And he's getting very indignant about it. So I'm thinking we need to go upstairs now.
Okay.
Is this the person with the Charles name, do you think, or is that someone different?
I don't know.
Okay.
Possibly, I don't know if it's the same.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me ask you, I have to ask some tough questions if you don't mind. And
Feel free.
If you don't want this on the video, that's perfectly fine. Is there any abuse or addiction in the household?
No.
Of any kind?
In the past, but not currently. Not between us here, no.
Anyone that in your family that has lived in this house struck any abuse or addiction?
No.
No. Okay. You have animals?
Not live ones. Apparently I've got one running around here though.
Okay.
I have dog bones that appear and disappear, and we don't have dog bones in the house.
Okay. Anyone having trouble sleeping in this room? So you're up and down.
Yeah. My insomnia is off the charts since I moved in here.
Interesting. So there's a reason for that, and I feel as though you might be a target of his angst. I don't want to say wrath, because I feel as though it's not hateful, it's more spiteful, I think, and it's more like, so he's saying, well, I'm a member of the He-Man Women Haters Club, so I don't think he's like, for some reason, he's resentful of women or a woman in particular. And I don't know if it is his wife, a daughter, a nurse, someone that may have been responsible. Are you a nurse, or do you have any nursing background or medical background? He's talking about the nurse. So it almost feels as though it's someone that has been prescriptive, someone that has been maybe even controlling of him, because he's not strong, he's frail, but he's very bitter. Very bitter. Yeah. Is there anything else that you wanted to add to what I've said?
I think what, for me, and I've been saying to her for a couple of weeks now, like, I'm curious to see if you were
He's
gonna...
jealous.
Yeah, if you were gonna come up with something...
There's a jealousy there also.
My husband
Yes.
has been ill,
Yes.
issues physically, and I've taken care of him.
So you're the nurse. You're the nurse.
Okay.
That's why he was calling you the nurse.
And
Okay.
I'm also
So
the one that, like...
So he might be resentful of the care that you
That
are
I'm giving
providing
him.
to your husband. He may also be jealous of the care, like, why aren't you looking after me? Why aren't you treating me? You nasty bitch, I just heard him say, sorry.
No.
Why aren't you treating me? Why are you giving him the attention? This is my room.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's what the issue is here. He's also telling me that he makes noise as well. So I'm hearing, like, when I'm on the first floor and I'm hearing noise upstairs. He's banging things, maybe you're hearing footsteps of him walking or pacing, and I just want to help him and help you to understand that was then, that is not now.
I've said that.
We're in a different time and in a different era now, and he is free to go and to reunite with loved ones that have passed on. And he says, they all betrayed me. I don't want to be with those people if they betrayed me. Yeah.
I've sat there on the edge of my bed and flat out said, like, you are more than welcome to stay here forever, but
That's the one
I'm here. Like, you have to be able to accept me for who I am.
Yeah.
And
So I'm going to tweak that, because we don't want him to stay here forever, and he needs to be there, not here.
I'm good with that.
Yeah. So maybe before we wrap up today, you and I can say a prayer together to give him permission to release, and I think we should do that in this room,
Okay.
and to let him know you are a good and kind and decent human being. It is not your intention to cause him any harm or to neglect him in any way, but he is not of physical form and of flesh and blood any longer, and I'm sorry. He's like, what are you telling me, son? And I'm sorry to have to tell you that, but you are of an energetic or spiritual form now, and you can go where you need to be just by thinking of it. I don't know what the issue is with you resisting it, but it feels that there is such a resentment and a bitterness that he feels connected to this property. And again, he showed me the word betrayal. So I don't know what further research you could do to try to glean detail or information about him and his situation. He may have died in this room also, which might be why he's sort of clinging to this. I'm being shown the word fear. I think he's fearful of letting go also. Yeah, which, I mean, I empathize with that, and I'm going to scold him a bit for using some nasty language that's not necessary also. But maybe we can take a look upstairs and see if we have anything. So I'll let you lead the way.
I'll just, again, just be careful, very old.
The steps are steep and narrow. Go ahead, Jen. So we're up in what would be the attic, and it's a very tight space, as you can tell, because we're sort of hunched over here. But I'm hearing him say, what do you want to go up there for? Do you think I have bats in the belfry? So again, there's sort of a sense of, we're defying him. There's some resentment there. There's also a sense of him being parched or thirsty, and no one attending to him in that way. So again, I think the sense that you are taking care of your husband who is ill or in recovery of some sort, there's a sense on the part of this gentleman of being jealous or resentful of that. I want to ask about the name Anne, and if there's an Anne connected to the property as well, to your knowledge.
Yes.
Yes, there's an Anne. And who was Anne, please? Do you know?
Anne lived here. She was actually the mother of someone that owned this house. That he moved her in with them. This was in the...
Interesting. So I'm wondering if, when you say he, I'm wondering if that's the gentleman I've been talking about?
I don't...
I can't tell what era we're in,
Okay,
to
so,
be
well,
honest.
Anne was here in the 1940s.
Okay.
That's the time frame for
Okay.
her.
That's
Her
entirely
son brought
possible.
her here
Yeah.
because his father had passed.
Okay. So I'm wondering if the son is the one that I'm picking up on, maybe, or
Could
I don't
be.
know, or maybe we're earlier than 1940s. I don't know.
It could be, but I don't...
And I think I'm moving back and forth in time. So I'm also getting a sense of great excitement and great anxiety and almost a feeling of panic looking out the windows up here at the troops that are converging and moving toward this house. And I don't know if you know anything about that as well, but it feels like this is sort of a lookout place. Like I can see much further from up here as a vantage point.
Can I tell you why I think that makes sense? Obviously, we're in the north, and the troops that came through this property were Confederate. So I think there was some fear that what they were going to do is they came through here. What were they going to steal? Were they going to take some of the kids? Were they going to, what were they going to take?
Rape and pillage, that kind of
Yes.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, so I think they
Yeah.
might have been kind of, like you said, looking out to kind of keep an eye on
Yeah,
things,
being
or
aware.
hide, or both.
There, that's a good point too, possibly hiding. Okay. Is there any questions you have for me about the attic space?
Honestly, this is the first time I've been up here. I don't come up here. When you said about the gentleman coming up here, that made a lot of sense to me, because I feel like when I'm in that room, he kind of gets up here and
he's
I'm not
making
going
me
to be
feel
with
like you're chasing me out.
Yeah.
You chased me out of my own room. And again, there's sort of a defiance about that, or
Yeah.
a sense of resentment about that.
And you talk about like his thirst. I can't even at night, just besides the insomnia, the constant thirst. I am so thirsty at night. I'm constantly drinking.
It's
and then
almost
I'm
like
constantly up
almost like
because
he's imprinting on you.
I feel it.
When
I
you're
feel
vulnerable
it.
in that regard.
Yeah.
I think it's Annie's husband.
The Anns.
I think Anne's husband is the gentleman because he passed in 1946, and that was when they were living here.
Did he pass in the house?
We don't know yet.
I'll tell you the
would
reason
would
why.
he have lived here?
Yes, I believe so. Because
What was his name? Do you know?
John.
John. Do you know his full name?
John F. Teal.
F. Okay. Still looking for the. Did I say Charles?
You did say Charles.
Yeah,
and
we
there-
know who Charles
We
is.
know who Charles is.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But he was also. That was like the 1910s.
Okay, so that was before John's time
Yes.
here. Okay, interesting.
There's bees flying around.
Yeah,
up
there are. I guess we should go back down. So Angela, you were telling me you've only been here 3 months, and that you've never gone upstairs into the attic before. And as we were all coming down, I heard him say, "Get out and good riddance." So again, he's cranky, and I'm scolding him. I'm going to treat him a little bit like a child or like a little boy, because I think he's being very foolish and silly and immature about all of this. And I can tell that you are a good person and
Thank you.
and a decent gal. And
Try.
I know that you want to try to make peace with the building and to reclaim the house as your own. And rightfully so. I think you should feel that way, and I think you're entitled to feel that way. He had his time, and it's time for someone else to come in. And you're, I think, also being respectful of the property as well. So you're not, you're not doing anything to the property, but I feel as though he's holding you accountable for maybe things that had gone on here before you. For example, the noise from putting on the addition. I think he's blaming you for all of that. So I think anyone that would be here is taking the brunt of that. And you have the potential to be, a pretty sensitive gal. You're open to a lot of things. I wouldn't be surprised if the people before you didn't feel or hear anything.
I've asked them, and they're like, no.
Yeah,
we
and so
never.
that doesn't surprise me. But I think because you are sensitive, you're now open to it, and then I think, unfortunately, you're taking the brunt of all of this pent-up angst that this gentleman has. Do you have questions for me?
I think the other thing that, depending on like the time frame, if we're picking the time frame correctly, one of the other things that I've gotten from him, I'm the one that bought the property, not my husband.
Oh. Interesting. So he wouldn't like that either.
He doesn't like the fact that
Yeah.
I'm the...
That you're a woman, and that you have, right.
Yes.
So that's why your makeup products go missing, and he's, kind of annoyed with you, and, he's very much, of that conservative mindset. You're very traditional. You have no business. What kind of a person are you? Your husband should be the one with the title and all of that sort of
Right,
thing.
because I work in the home, I have an office downstairs, and my husband's gone during the day, and when I'm here alone, working, that's when I get the brunt of the activity,
Yeah.
so.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
I'll be completely honest with you, and I'll be willing to do whatever you wish. I'm not feeling the need to go anywhere else in the house, because I think we pinpointed the issue. I think we pinpointed what to do about it, and I'll be happy to sit here with you, say a prayer or a blessing. I would encourage you to take control and to reclaim your living space by blessing every room of your home. Now, for those folks that are watching, I'm not talking about saging, I'm not talking about holy water, I'm not talking about crystals, and I'm not discouraging of all of that, because I know that people have found that to be very helpful. But bottom line is, nothing trumps the power of your heartfelt prayers. And that's what matters most.
I agree.
Yeah. And so from space to space, and you don't have to go back up in the attic, but you can call a prayer up the stairs and
Right.
make that sort of the thrust of where you want it to go. But every room, every bathroom, in the basement, and I don't think it's going to be once and done. I think you're going to have to do it maybe once a week or so. But I think the more you do it, it would be great if your husband could do it with you too. Does he believe in what you've been experiencing?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, so he's on board with you, great. So then I think that it would be especially powerful if the two of you just went from room to room and said a blessing, and mentally, in your mind's eye, just sort of clear the space and to illuminate the space with the light of the truth. And before you go to bed, something else that you can do, and folks that are watching can do this in your own home as well, mentally cast a veil of protection over your space. A shield that is impenetrable. It will insulate and encapsulate. It will defend and protect, and it will repel and deflect anything that does not serve your greater good. And that should help you to shut down at night, because you're not going to be as vulnerable and accessible as you may have been.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Questions for me? Anything that you want to talk about?
I have some other experiences up here that I don't believe are him. Just curious if you've picked up on. I know his energy is very overpowering.
He's very dominant.
And I feel him 90% of the time, but there are some other things that go on up here that I'm curious about.
Let me ask you this. Have you... This is interesting. So what I'm being shown is when we had been in Kendra's basement out at her farm, and there was a black blob that came out of the wall in the basement and ran scurrying across the floor, and we never knew what it was. So what I'm feeling as I'm standing here is, out of the corner of my eye, as you, I'm seeing something running along the baseboard. And I feel as though there are, I don't know, I'm just going to say maybe a darker energy of something, because it's sort of like a blackish gray color, and it's about the size of maybe a small animal. I don't know if these are imps. I'm also wondering if you have, out of the corner of your eye, as you're looking in the mirror, seen something behind you moving in the mirror as well. Mm-hmm. And so I think you're correct in maybe the male, this older gentleman, and I'm going to be respectful of him even though he hasn't been respectful of us. I think he's a dominant personality. I'm actually starting to wonder now if he's not who we think he is. And if perhaps there is a... Do you want me to keep going?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm gonna speak the truth.
I need you to, because I think I know what's here.
I think that the energy of what we think is this elderly, infirmed male is a mimic that's been created by some negative energies that are also responsible for some of these things that I see sort of scurrying along the floorboards and along the baseboards here. So when we were talking about blessing the house, blessing every room, I'm going to stand firm with that, and I think that you do have the power to do that. I don't think you need to call in anyone else, because you live here, it's your home, you're invested in it, obviously emotionally, you're invested in it financially, and I want you to feel empowered to claim or reclaim the space, because I want you to live here and I want you to feel safe and comfortable and at home in your own home. Right. And I don't think that you've felt that 100% as yet.
No, because they follow me wherever I'm at in the house.
These things that I'm picking up on. Yeah.
Like if I'm in the living room, I see them in the kitchen.
I have to ask a tough question. Since you've been here, has your husband become sicker?
Actually, no. He's become better. I became sick.
Okay. So
with something that I hadn't had before.
So as you, I am feeling a constant fatigue. I am feeling as though my immune system has been compromised.
Yep.
I feel that I am regularly drained of energy. My appetite is fluctuating, correct?
Yeah.
And I'm feeling like I've got headaches or migraines. Also, as you, I also have to ask another tough question, and we can edit it out. I'm feeling pressure in my, almost like my female organ area. Like there's pain or discomfort there. Okay. All right.
I haven't had a migraine in well over a year, and I've had 6 in the last 2 months.
And I think it's, I think it's stress. I think it's stress related. But it also feels to me as though maybe there are things that are sort of attaching or trying to attach to you. And do you have questions for me about all of that? I want you to feel empowered, like I've got this, and I'm not going to tell him anymore that you're welcome to stay as long as you want, because he's not.
Right, I get that,
He's not.
I think the one question that I have is I had an issue in my previous home with an imp that would mess with me at night in my bed. Like I could see him as clear as a bell. He would jump up on the bottom of the bed and scare the crap out of me. I'm wondering if I didn't bring that along.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility that that energy then merged with whatever was dormant here in the form of either the elderly man and any spiritual energy of his, or it contributed to manifesting a mimic of him, so that they're trying to deceive us into thinking, oh, well, it's the ghost of this man, when it's really not that at all. It's just a manifestation of that energy taking a human form. Yeah. Don't give it your fear.
Yeah.
Don't give it that. You have to take control, so you don't give it anything to work with. That's why I was asking, is there any abuse or addiction in the household? Anything of that nature that would be feeding it.
Oh, I get it. Yeah,
That would be feeding it.
No,
you know?
not at all.
Okay.
Other than just my discomfort and a little bit of fear, because this has been one of the more intense places I've lived, because I do hear and see and feel
Right,
things.
because you're a sensitive gal. And so that's why the folks prior to you weren't. And there might have been things that were going on that they just didn't, you know, it went over their heads, they just didn't pay
Right.
attention to it, or they weren't
Right.
connecting the dots in the way that you are.
Right.
Yeah.
Can I tell you about another incident that happened in this house that I know of for sure that I think could be affecting all of this?
Sure.
So there was a death in the house that we have confirmed.
Mhm.
Do you want me to keep going?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
sure.
So, a teenage girl by the name of Hilda Utz passed away in this house. She was 16. It says so right on her death certificate that she died in the home. In investigating the information on the death certificate, we think that the death certificate is not accurate.
That they fudged it and that it was a suicide.
Oh. Maybe?
So, I'll just tell you the death certificate listed her cause of death as an infection of the fallopian tubes. That's what, when you said like that area, I was like, maybe
That's why I asked if I
That
could.
you were taking that on.
Oh, I am so
Yeah.
taking her on.
that spread to her stomach lining, or the lining of her abdominal cavity or something. Now they say that the cause of that infection was a physical injury from a fall. And we're like, you can't, no.
So
No.
it may have been a botched abortion, you know?
That's exactly
So,
what I said, yes.
right, but I'm wondering if she did it to herself. Like, when I saw the word suicide, quote
Yeah.
unquote, I'm wondering if it was something that she in some way brought upon herself. Yeah, so,
It's very possible.
It's very possible.
so we don't, we
But
we
can
won't
something
know.
like that
The
cause
energy-
that energy to just stay dark? And,
So it can leave an imprint
Okay.
on the property, so it can contribute to this sort of gradual cache of all of these sort of negative experiences contributing to, it's sort of like bundled
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
together, and it's sort of, you know, trying to wreak havoc here. Yeah.
And it
And
affects
we-
your emotions.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I sit here sometimes at night and I am just so overwhelmed and I cry and
But
I
that's what
cry
it
for
wants.
no reason.
What
Yeah.
it wants to cause you to become undone. It thrives on chaos and destruction. Yeah. And it wants for you to become depressed to the point where you are contemplating harming yourself. That's what it wants. So you have to know that, and I'm not saying this to frighten you, I'm saying this to empower you,
Yeah.
because you got to know what you're up against,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and I know through our research that this young girl she had just gotten accepted to a high school. Back then you had to get accepted as a woman to go. And within a month of her acceptance, she's dead. And quickly after that, her parents moved out of here.
A couple months.
A couple months, and I
Interesting.
think it was
So-
like this big cover-up.
Right, so there may
Scandal
have, so there,
thing.
right, but there, and then there may have been rumors and gossip
Mm-hmm.
that caused the family to leave also, so that may be part of it, yeah. But I wouldn't rule out that this girl might have taken her life also, out of maybe shame or embarrassment, or maybe just extraordinary pain.
Yeah, I just got chills when you said that.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine, because I just,
So everything during the day is usually, okay, once the sun goes down, then it's a free-for-all because there's no light, and the light illuminates the truth. We just came from another location where we had this conversation.
I'm not
With some
usually
other
one
folks,
to do a ton of this, but I don't know if you noticed, I've got at least 2 night lights in every single room in this house, and I've got them all down the hallways.
Yeah.
This house is lit up like an airport at night because the darker it gets, the worse the
Correct.
activity
Correct.
gets.
Yep.
And it's pretty, I mean, she's been here when we sit downstairs watching TV and you hear the thump
Yeah.
on the floor,
Yeah.
and it sounds like a dog
Yeah,
jumping
we
off
didn't
the
even,
bed.
we were like, oh,
and-
because she used to have a dog in
Or
her old
someone-
house, and
or
it's like, oh, the
someone
dog jumped
fell
off the
out
bed.
of
They're
bed.
Or
like,
somebody
"Yes,
fell out of
Right.
bed.
There's
Yeah,
a dog there."
and we hear that, I hear the thumping up here more when I'm home alone. It definitely happens a lot when I'm home alone, because I think you're right, I think it's trying to get to me, but
Yeah.
the noises I hear in this house when I'm here by myself are off the charts.
Yeah. I'm not surprised by that. I'm sorry that's happening for you.
No, it's okay, that's why I was so excited that, you know, Jaffa offered to bring you out here. I'm like, yeah. I just want confirmation, so I know exactly how to deal with
Before
it.
we even entered the house, I think I was giving you confirmation, right?
Yes.
I don't want for you to be in any way discouraged.
Yeah.
I want for you to claim this property as your own. I want for you to feel at home in your own home.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I wish your husband was here actually, because I want for him to be part of the equation, and I want for him to participate in supporting you in this process of blessing the space.
Yeah,
Like I said, I don't
absolutely.
think you need to bother with the newer section of the house. I would just focus on the original property, the
Right.
original building here. And I think you can lick it. I think you can send it on its way. But you're going to have to stay strong. It's not going to be once and done. And I think you can do it. I think you can manage it.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, we plan on being here. This is our forever home. You know, we want to get the farm going again, and we,
Beautiful.
you know, I don't want to do any more remodeling. I love the
Beautiful.
old
Yes.
part. I want to keep the old structure of the home and you know, celebrate it. So
I just don't want I want you to be, again, I'm not saying it to frighten you. I want you to be aware of the truth of what's going on so that you can get out in front of it, and so that you are not beginning to find yourself surrendering to it,
Right.
which is what it wants.
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. And the more time you're here alone, the more time it has to sort of get its hooks into you and,
Right.
and start manipulating you. you
Yeah.
know.
You know, and the other thing is too, if you don't mind me giving you some more information, when you're talking about the troops coming through, when you guys came in at the light, there's the old schoolhouse that's boarded up. There was a fight right there.
Interesting.
There was one, I'm trying to look at my direction, so they came up through the property.
Right.
There was a skirmish at Gitz Mill, which is a 1/4 mile. A Confederate was killed there. They came through here, there was a fight right here at the end, pretty much the end of our driveway, and then there was another battle that's exactly 1 mile from here as you go out to the light and make a right. So we're in the middle of 3 fights, 3
It's
battles.
like a triangle.
Yep.
We're the epicenter.
Yeah, but I found the maps in the, you know, in the Civil War books, and it was as the Confederates were coming up through for the Battle of Hanover prior to them hitting Gettysburg. So this was on their way up.
Well, I think we have a plan, Angela, and so I'm going to send everyone downstairs for a few minutes, and then you and I can sit here and we will say some prayers, and I feel positive that that is going to be helpful to you. I'd like to see you sleep through the night tonight, at least, right?
That'd be great.
And I want to thank you so much
Thank you.
for having us
Absolutely.
invade your home like this. And you've been very gracious as a hostess, and we appreciate your time.
I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. All right,
Thank you very much.